I thought that was a name I knew. Minnesota guy.
Carl Johnson, we've had him on camera several times so far. Has not gone well for him, but obviously having a great tournament at 11-3.
Scott's on 6 cards here as he will start with a fetch of a Scalding Tarn on his way down to 17, I'm sure. Likely a Watery Grave. Seen this song and dance before here from GRIXIS Death's Shadow. We'll see where he wants to follow up. Might be a discard spell. Could be a Thoughtseize. It is. It's going to be a Street Wraith. Down to 15. Draw a card. I think it's another Street Wraith. Down to 13. Draw a card. Gurmag Angler. Thoughtseize you. Down to 11. Really good start. Take a look.
Yep. Turn 2 Gurmag Angler rolled up here.
Yeah, pretty much. We see a Thought-Knot Seer, Dismember. Expedition Map. Endbringer. Eldrazi Temple, 2 Urza's Power Plants. Think he might be incentivized to take the old Dismember now.
Yep, and just wail on him with the Angler while his hand is nonsense. Easy stuff. Although Marcus's hand looks very land heavy.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I see a Delta and a Steam Vents over there. Looks like the selection's actually going to be Expedition Map.
So he has a second Thoughtseize in hand. So he wants to take the map out of the hand here because that's a path for Johnson to get to Tron, or just have enough temples to be able to cast the stuff in his hand. I would imagine the second Thoughtseize here is going to take the Dismember, assuming that Johnson hasn't drawn something more threatening.
Snapcaster remains to draw here for Markeson. He does have another Thoughtseize, as you mentioned.
Although now he's drawn the Snapcaster Mage, it complicates issues again. I was going to say because you don't want your Snapcaster Mage to get Thoughtseize, but now with Johnson having drawn a second copy of Thought-Knot Seer for his turn, I think it becomes pretty attractive to take the Dismember here, cast the Gurmag Angler, and Thoughtseize whatever you can the next turn.
Yep. There's your fetch. Sack that. Down 8. Probably down to 6. Although he could search of a basic swamp if he wants to, but he'll get a Blood Crypt. This is a Death Shadow deck after all. Down to 6. Angler's going to remove the entire graveyard. Which means Snapcaster Mage is getting a little bit worse.
Really nice start here for Markeson.
There's the real big fish. There goes the graveyard. We pass it back over to Carl Johnson. See if he can keep up. Versus Power Plant, simply going to pass the turn back. Over to Markeson will go. Steam Vent's going to enter the battlefield tapped in for 5. Johnson going to fall down to 15. Scott will pass over to Carl. Carl going to play a Thought-Knot Seer. Trigger, take a look at the grip. Snapcaster Mage and Snapcaster Mage. Fair enough. That makes that pretty easy. That'll get exiled. We go over to Scott. A lot of good draws available to him. Didn't get a great look at what he drew. He will attack for 5. Johnson is down to 10. That's a really good Magic card right now in Death Shadow.
That would be the best draw.
Carl Johnson's in some trouble now. Cavernous Souls. I'm going to name Eldrazi with that one, I'm sure. 4 mana, another Thought-Knot Seer. Response going to play that Snapcaster Mage, which means Markeson's got no cards left in hand. Now we'll head back over to Scott, who will untap. Empty-handed, draw a card. Oh boy. You draw Teamer Battle Rage then?
Doesn't matter. The best block that Johnson has is probably double blocking the Gurmag Angler, and who cares if that's what you do? I suppose he has double block on Death Shadow, but the Snapcaster Mage is basically a free attack because if Johnson puts a Thought-Knot Seer in front of the Snapcaster Mage, his other block is a chump, so who cares?
Okay.
So the best thing that he can do is just double block something, and at that point, Markeson's just fine with the attack. And he gets to draw a card for his trouble also.
True. Now Johnson's just trying to figure out if he's going to double block or if he's just going to say, I'll put this there and chump block the Death Shadow, perhaps. Oh, there are your blocks. There's a Teamer Battle Rage. So yeah, that's called a good draw.
Okay, well,
Scott Markeson.
Fair enough. Even if you draw a land, even if you drew a land, I think that attack is fine. And
Yeah.
Instead, he drew the best card in the deck.
Well, there you go. Scott Markeson's going to win game number 1 here over Carl Johnson. GRIXIS test Shadow quickly up a game here over Eldraziatron. Carl Johnson will try to fight back after these messages. Senator Phillips, Patrick Sullivan here in Minneapolis at SCG Tour, hashtag SCGMINN for your tweets all weekend long. As we're watching round number 15 here, the winner of this match is going to be headed to the top 8. Could be Carl Johnson on your left, Scott Markeson on your right. Markeson up a game here with his Grixis Death Shadow deck. Eldraziatron's got a sideboard, though. Here to help Carl Johnson out is 2 Relic of Regenerators, 2 Torpor Orb, 2 Warping Whale, along with an All's Dust Dismember, Grafdigger's Cage, Karn Liberated, Pithing Needle Ratchet Bomb, Sky Sovereign, Council Flagship, Ugin, Le Spirit Dragon, and the Wormcoil Engine.
Some interaction and I think just some threats that line up better. Wormcoil Engine, Ratchet Bomb, Dismember, All Is Dust seem very good. Relics as well.
Yeah, some good options there for Markeson. He's got 3 Leyline of the Void, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Stubborn Now, Liliana the Veil, and Liliana the Last Hope as singletons, along with Kolaghan's Command. Engineer Explosives is a Staticaster, and one that's almost assuredly coming in Disdainful Stroke.
The Disdainful Stroke and the 2 copies of Ceremonious Rejection are the easy ones here. I like Liliana of the Veil in this matchup a lot too. Eldraziatron plays a lot of big chunky threats. That would probably do it for me. I think it's just those 4.
Well, those are the options there for both players. We will be underway here in game number 2 in just a moment as Markeson had a beautiful draw in game number 1. A lot of discard spells, a turn 2 Gurmag Angler, Death Shadow at the right time, and then a Teamer Battle Rage to put things on easy mode. For Carl Johnson, a slower start in game number 1, maybe a more explosive one here in game number 2, but he'll have to do that explosive start on, it looks like, 6 cards as things are not working out well here for Carl on any of his on-camera matches this weekend.
Yeah, that's pretty disappointing as Johnson has not only lost, but mostly in non-competitive fashion so far on camera, but he's clearly doing very well over the weekend at 11-3. I had an invitational many years ago where I was XO off camera and OX on camera.
Nice. that is nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
X and 4, I think I finished.
It's good finish.
Lost playing for top 8. Went millionth time on camera that weekend. lost to Kibler playing stupid Maverick. So frustrating.
Oh, you poor guy. Oh, you were playing Burn, I assume?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, of course you were.
I was playing Walking Corpse in Standard and Burn.
Those during those days. Those were the 2010s? 2011, 2012.
In a Strahd, whenever that was, yeah.
Yeah. You're Walking
that would
Corpse
have been a great invitational top 8 to rack up there.
2 non-decks just going to work.
Goblin Guide and Walking Corpse.
Yeah.
2 decks.
Ever heard of it?
4 Mortapods. That was the wrong number of Mortapods to play.
Was the wrong number?
Yeah.
There's a few too many, probably.
It should have been 0 or 1, probably 0.
4 strikes me as a lot of a card that's not good in multiples. But I don't know. I don't play much anymore. Hello. Feeding a normal army is a problem, Patrick, of logistics. With zombies, it is an asset. Feeding is why they fight. Feeding is why they are feared.
All right, so some context here.
Talk to me.
The best deck at that point was the Delver of Secrets deck.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of gut shots, Moorland Haunt tokens. One toughness was just too bad.
And most of the 2-drops that were available were 1 toughness.
You had the Highland Ghoul or whatever that thing, the 2/1 Fear.
It was garbage. It's a garbage card.
I played that thing.
Yeah.
Beat someone on blue-black control. They had a Curse of Death's Hold. I had 2 of these.
It's 1/1.
Finishing out the game.
One.
Finish it off, put a Mortapod on it at last
Yeah.
point. Because I had so many Mortapods.
Yep. Mortapod flooded.
Anyhow.
By choice.
Just missed the top 8 of that tournament. And the Standard Open in L.A.
Or maybe you were running good to even be available to top 8. Bro, you sleeved up Walking Corpse.
I should have played more Cemetery Reapers. I had one in the deck, and every time I drew, I was like, oh, my goodness. They're 3 3s now? I was already happy before. And if I had cut 3 of the Mortapods for 3 more of those, could have really. But you never know. You never know.
Revisionist history.
Right, it's easy to say after the fact.
Seraphim Vision's here for Scott.
So if Scott had a Thoughtseize in hand, I thought I saw one. I'm not sure. I would prefer to lead with Thoughtseize just because of vulnerability to Chalice of the Void on 1.
Of which his deck is susceptible to.
Yep. If I know an easy way to lose to Eldrazi when they mulligan to 5, it's not playing your discard spell on turn 1 and losing to Chalice of the Void.
You lose the game.
And I know this. I don't know if he has a Thoughtseize, but I know that this is the case because I watched teammate Chad Castell do that exact thing in a team open not that long ago. Ceremonious Rejection is a nice draw.
Yeah. He does have a Thoughtseize in hand.
Yeah, okay. You got to protect yourself against Chalice of the Void. If you're going to lose to a 5-card hand, this is the most likely way.
Because now Scott has a 5-card hand.
No, it's way lower than 5.
Maybe lower.
And it's implied that it's lower over the course of the game also.
Scott's going to sacrifice his Polluted Delta. Do you think we will perhaps take the Chalice test over the course of this game?
You got to wait.
Oh, you don't want to do it right away. You got to give it a couple turns.
You got to pace it.
Yeah.
But the ideal spot is that you bridge it over 2 turns. So you're like end of turn Thought Scour, untap, play whatever, Thought sees you.
There you go.
You got to throw the jabs you got to give them that southpaw style.
Yeah. Little bob and weave.
Right, exactly.
As it were.
Exactly.
Bloodstained Mire the draw. Pass the turn back.
Worth noting that Markeson probably has at least 1 or 2 Kolaghan's commands in his deck, so he might be able to break out of the Chalice that way. You can hold on to the 1s for a little while.
Another Chalice. You can break out of the Chalices, plural. Yeah. So now I think now it gets tougher to resolve a 1-mana spell because he has 2 on the battlefield.
Right.
He's got 2 Chalices staring at him.
He has to forget about both.
Both of them, yeah. And that's tough.
And because of that, I would prefer to spread the Chalices out. Make sure that no matter where you look, there's a Chalice in your peripheral view. So I would put 1 on top, like 1 above the deck, and the 1 on the right I would leave there.
Okay.
And then there's no way you don't see a Chalice of the Void, no matter where you're looking.
We're going to get aggressive with Snappy.
Well,
Here we go.
Flashbacking some spells probably off the table.
Drew a Thoughtseize. Nice. Down to 18. Let's head back over to Carl. After a Watery Grave, enters the battlefield tapped. I see the plan. In for 2. Gurmag Angler, I think, was the draw.
Gurmag will play.
Yep. There you go. Going to lose that entire graveyard. Pass the turn back. Cavern of Souls. Here's a 4-mana spell. Thought-Knot Seer. Well, Dismember.
This is really good for Markeson. I mean,
yeah.
That's one of the upsides of the Chalice is that his hand is not good, so who cares?
He'll draw a card.
Thought-Knot away.
Yep. Show some 1-mana spells. Ooh, Teamer Battle. Ooh.
Oh, look at that hand. Oh, my goodness.
It's going to take the Teamer Battle Rage. Ceremonious Rejection, Thought Scours, plural. Thought Seizes, plural. I just start letting them rip.
I think you can still hold on for a little bit longer.
Okay.
Draw a Kolaghan's command.
What I want to see is I want to see Ceremonious Rejection on, like, an Eldrazi that's being cast through the Cavern. I just want it all.
Yeah.
I want it all right now. Bloodstained Mire the draw. Play that in there for 7. Carl's going to need something. This is bad news. There's a land. It's a Ghost Quarter. Smasher wouldn't be bad as a defensive play. Is passing? No way is Scott going to win this game.
I mean, if he's on sixes and whatever big plays, it can happen like this.
Wow. I know Carl mulled to 5, but he shut off 5 cards in Scott's hand. Scott will draw. I think, what did he just draw? Okay, just put him down to 2. Pass the turn. Carl will draw, play a land. What do we got? If it's Endbringer, it's no good. That's good.
That's good.
That's good. That's good. I would have tried the rejection there.
You have to.
I would have tried the rejection there. Got to get a little lucky.
You got to respond with a Thought Scour.
Yep, Thought Scour. Nope. Again. Nope. Okay. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. Keep trying. What do you draw? Street Wraith. Happy to cycle that. Johnson on top of it with those chalices, plural.
Yep. That was a big play right there.
Yep. He might, okay, he might castrate Wraith. He's going to cycle. Let's see what this is. Yeah, let's do it again. Down to 6. That's, oh boy, that's Warm Coil range now. What was that? Thought Scour? Nice. Pass. It might be over, folks. There's a land. Uh-oh. Is this the Dustbuster? Clean up aisle 3. We're done. Carl Johnson going to win game number 2 against Scott Markeson. Eldrazi-tron. Oof, timely top decks there from Carl. Mulligan to 5. Couple of chalices. Almost still lost, but a Worm Coil engine here. A All Is Dust there. We're getting ready here for a game number 3 from Minnie. Just a bit. There's Carl Johnson able to steal that one from Scott Markeson. Eldrazi-tron and GRIXIS Shadow going to get ready for a 3rd and final one. Winner of this match headed to the top 8. Going to be joining Dylan Hand, Jonathan Rossum, and 2015 Players Champion Jim Davis, among many others. Can't forget about Peter Terbergen, the Pepsi Affinity Master.
A stacked top 8.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a nice top 8 to watch unfold here this evening. This guy control, no joke right now, folks. Humans, too. Maybe the 1 and the 2 in the format. We'll see. One of these decks will make top 8 too. GRIXIS Shadow, Eldrazi-tron. Been a minute since we've seen these decks in the top 8 here on the SCG Tour.
Still a big fan of GRIXIS Shadow. I know not all the matchups are good, but I think it's the structure of the deck's very powerful. Plays a lot of some of the individual best cards in the format. I would consider playing this one were I to play in a modern event.
If we were to come to Denver and have a modern open as an example.
As an example,
yeah. Just hypothetical. Markeson now will be taking a mulligan. Got to slam that ceremonious rejection down on that Worm Coil, man. With confidence, Ryan Overture style.
Yeah.
Bang!
Just Maverick style flick.
That's it. That's all you got to do.
Carl was on his game, though, when it comes to the chalices. He was on top of that.
Yep.
He was on top of it.
That's all I got. Can't miss him. Can't win if I miss him. Carl looking to bounce back. He's had a tough time on camera here this weekend, but he's been winning plenty off of it. He's just got to get one win under the lights. If he does, top 8 is his. 6 cards. Here for Markeson. That's a deep breath there from Scott. He doesn't look through. Oh, boy, it's down to 5. Well, the tables have turned on this match. Scott Markeson was 1 draw step away from getting the job done.
But GRIXIS Shadow can run pretty resource light. You don't want to be on 5, but I think this deck mulligans to 5 much better than most.
Not impossible. It's just going to be tough. That's for sure. We'll see if Scott can find a hand that he likes. While he shuffles and mulligans one more time, great time to sell you something, so that's what we're going to do. StarCityGames.com weekly sale, Patrick. Ever heard of it?
I have.
Yeah?
Regularly. You can head over to go.starcitygames.com/weekly sale. Check it out. We post a new sale with a new category every Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So make sure to be going back to the website, check out the new sale. For a limited time only, less than 24 hours, you can still save up to 20% off select Eternal singles. Polluted Delta, for example.
There you go. Give us the hard sell. All right, he's got a Blood Crypt untapped. And he'll simply pass the turn back. Versus Tower there for Carl Johnson. This will be a Thoughtseize. Let's see what's going on here. Urza's Mine, Reality Smasher, Ghost Quarter. A Ratchet Bomb, Reality Smasher. Wormcoil Engine, and the very powerful Thought-Knot Seer. A good hand.
Well, the hope here from Marcus' side is that he just misses land drops and can't put together enough mana to cast the big threats in his hand. And his hand's so saturated, Johnson's hand is, with expensive cards that you probably want to pick something on the lower side. Ratchet Bomb if you have a way to get some pressure going, or the Thought-Knot Seer if you're a ways away from being able to attack.
I think Markeson does have a copy of Death's Shadow in hand, and if that's the case, I think he almost has to take the Ratchet Bomb then.
Well, it depends how much, how much material does he have for the Death Shadow. If it's going to take him long enough to get to 12 or below, such that the Thought-Knot Seer is likely to take it, then you probably take the Thought-Knot Seer. But if you think you can deploy it in time, take the Ratchet Bomb and hope to just sort of outpace the larger threats in his hand.
He'll take Thought-Knot Seer. We'll head back over to Carl. He'll play the bomb, pass the turn back. Scott will draw. Scott will play an Islands. Scott will play a Serum Visions and draw. Scry 2. And both those cards will stay there, so he's happy with what he sees on top of the deck as we head back over to Carl, who's got that Ratchet Bomb on 1. Oh, no.
Never mind.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
You know what? I'm happy that Johnson finally got one good hand on camera.
His hands have been
this
horrible.
So this one might be over before it starts, and, that's maybe not the most satisfying way to finish out a match for top 8, but I'm glad Johnson has finally gotten a real hand. It has not been the most impressive display by Eldrazi Tron thus far over the course of the weekend.
A very timely Urza's Power Plant, folks. Allows for a turn 3 Wormcoil Engine. Markeson's going to cycle a Street Rate, draw a new card. He knows what's on top. It was going to be a useful Thoughtseize. Less useful now.
Yeah, Thoughtseize was a way for him to get to 12 and get the Death Shadow out there and get a relevant card out of Johnson's hand. But now, even if you take something, a little too late, potentially.
And that'll be a Thought Scour. Markeson will target himself. A couple of cards will go to the graveyard. Teamer Battle Rage among them. Looks like he picked up a copy of Serum Visions. Game. Scott Markeson knows that he can't beat Wormcoil Engine. Carl Johnson going to win this match here over Scott Markeson. 2-1. E-Tron going to take care of GRIXIS Death Shadow. And for Carl Johnson, the camera was unkind for most of the weekend, but not that third game. Congrats. He's on the top 8.
Congratulations to Carl Johnson, and I think